Hello everyone and welcome back to KORR Monsters. This time we are in New Orleans, Louisiana for our last event before KORR Monsters Finals 4. Our field of trucks today features Ash Fire Extinguishers driven by Mike Maxwell, Cometic Gaskets driven by Damon Newton, Cottonmouth driven by Lonnie Hall, Doggone Crazy driven by Todd Yates, Howler driven by Kinsley Parks, Karnage driven by DJ Payne, Lifeline driven by Addison Long, Rat Trap driven by Tripp Cassidy, Reckless Red driven by Opal Baxter, Texas Ace driven by Wayne Garrett, Tonka driven by Phil Butler, and rounding us off we have Try Me driven by Jack Schroeder. And here we have our racing bracket. Starting us off in round 1 we have Cottonmouth going up against Howler, Tonka going up against Karnage, Doggone Crazy going up against Cometic Gaskets, Reckless Red versus Try Me, Rat Trap versus Texas Ace, and Ash Fire Extinguishers going up against Lifeline to finish us off with round 1. And now our first race of round 1, we have Howler going up against Cottonmouth. Light goes green, both trucks leave simultaneously. And they look pretty even into the first turn. But Cottonmouth with the better turn pulls ahead. And our final turn here, Cottonmouth about a truck length advantage. And it'll be Cottonmouth moving on into round number 2. As our next race, we have Karnage going up against Tonka. Karnage with the jump on Tonka, giving him the early advantage. Down the straightaway, both trucks pretty even. That lead's pretty much gone. Around the final turn, it looks like it's going to be Karnage moving on into round number 2 over Tonka. Next up, we have Cometic Gaskets going up against Doggone Crazy. Doggone Crazy sleeping at the light. Cometic Gaskets with a huge lead right off the bat. Halfway through the race, Cometic Gaskets about a truck and a half lead, but goes wide in the turn. Coming to the finish, Cometic Gaskets will be moving on into round number 2 with a huge leap. And now we have Try Me versus Reckless Red. Light goes green, Reckless Red with a little bit of an earlier leave, but noses down on the first jump. Great turn from Reckless Red. Try Me messes up the turn. Into the final turn, Reckless Red with a big lead. And it will be Reckless Red moving on as Try Me gets into trouble, misses the ramp, keeps it on all 4 wheels though. And now we have Texas Ace going up against Rat Trap. First time we're seeing Texas Ace, and they get left at the line. Tripp Cassidy and Rat Trap with a massive lead over the first timer here. And it will be Tripp Cassidy and Rat Trap moving on into round number 2 by a sizable margin. In our last race of the first round, we have Lifeline going up against Ash Fire Extinguishers. Both trucks leave pretty simultaneously. It looks like Ash Fire Extinguishers with the early advantage. Going into the final turn, Ash with a couple truck advantage. And Ash Fire Extinguishers wins the race but crashes. This is the 3rd week in a row we've seen someone crash like that in racing. And they will not get that truck fixed in time for round 2. As our matchups for round 2, we will see Cottonmouth going up against Karnage, Cometic Gaskets going against Reckless Red, and Rat Trap going up against Lifeline. And now we have that first race, Karnage versus Cottonmouth. Karnage trees the hell out of Cottonmouth. That is not something we see very often. Karnage with the advantage going into the final turn. We could see a big upset here. Coming to the line, Cottonmouth misses the ramp. Karnage is going to be moving on into round number 3 after a penalty on Cottonmouth. As now we have Reckless Red going up against Cometic Gaskets. Both trucks a little late on the tree, but they left at the same time. Into the first turn, pretty even. Cometic with a much better looking turn. And they're even at the line at the halfway point. Coming into the final turn, who's it going to be? Looks like it's going to be Cometic Gaskets moving on into round number 2. Or round number 3, that is. As now our last race, we have Lifeline going up against Rat Trap. Like this green Lifeline with a little bit of an advantage off the line. And that advantage is already gone. Tripp Cassidy and Rat Trap figuring out this new truck. Still pretty close, but it's going to be Tripp Cassidy and Rat Trap moving on into the semifinals. And now our semifinal matchups, we'll see King Karnage versus Fast Loser Reckless Red, and Cometic Gaskets going up against Rat Trap. Our first matchup, Reckless Red versus King Karnage. Waiting on the light goes green, trucks leave simultaneously. Pretty even going into turn number 1. King Karnage, not normally known to be a racer, going pretty far in this bracket into the final turn. King Karnage with a great turn, coming to the line. It looks like it's going to be King Karnage going to the finals for the first time in his career. And he will be going up against the winner of this matchup, Rat Trap versus Cometic Gaskets. Light goes green, Rat Trap with the jump on Cometic Gaskets. Into the turn, Rat Trap has a bit of an issue. Cometic with a different issue. Pretty even halfway. Cometic Gaskets goes wide. Rat Trap keeps it tight. And Rat Trap will be going on into the finals to face off against King Karnage. So it'll be our 2000 racing champion going up against someone that has never made it to the racing finals before. Trucks pull to the line, waiting on the green. Light goes green. King Karnage left a hair before Rat Trap. Into the first turn, King Karnage gets there first. Rat Trap having an issue with the turn. King Karnage about a truck and a half advantage going into the final turn. King Karnage with an issue coming to the finish. Looks like it's King Karnage picking up his first career racing win here in New Orleans. As we will be moving on into freestyle now, we'll be starting off with Lifeline, followed by our newcomer Texas Ace, Howler, Cottonmouth, our racing winner King Karnage going out 5th, Doggone Crazy, Tonka, Rat Trap, Ash Fire Extinguishers, Cometic Gaskets, Reckless Red, and our reigning freestyle champion Jack Schroeder and Try Me rounding us off. As we start off now with Lifeline, Addison Long. She's slowly been improving over the last couple of years, but still very much not to the level of our top dogs here. As she starts us off with a nice couple of hits. Addison's never been one to carry much momentum in her freestyle runs. So looks like she's going for that freestanding car. Trying for a slap wheelie. Does not get it. This truck pretty unique on the tour, being one of the very few Dodges we have competing, and she gets a nice sky wheelie off the backside of the white lane. About 35 seconds left in the run. We definitely need to see more out of her if she wants a good score. It looks like she's going into some donuts here in the center of the floor. Getting some good rotations out of them. Good momentum in the donuts. Goes for another sky wheelie off the blue lane. Does not really get it. And it looks like she's lining up for the bus stack. Gets a good hit on it. And she's going to shut it down with a couple seconds on the clock. Gets a 20 from the judges. I think they were a little generous with that score. As now we see they debut freestyle for Texas Ace, driven by Wayne Garrett. A very unique truck. It's a 2002 Chevy Silverado with a Cadillac Escalade front clip on it. Not something you would ever expect to see, but it looks pretty good on this truck, if I do say so myself. Starting us off, some pretty good hits in the run so far. Lining up. Tried for a sky wheelie off the back of the blue lane. Didn't quite get it, but got enough of it. Airs it out over the racing lane. Get some pretty good air off of it. Kind of searching around, going for the lone standing car. Gets a sky wheelie off of that one. Tried for a slap wheelie, didn't quite get it. Looks like he's going after the bus stack next. Attacks it pretty good. Walks a little bit of a wheelie over it. 25 seconds left in the run. Gets a decent little hit off the back of the blue lane. This time's coming to a close. More good air off the white lane. Only about 5 seconds left in the run. Going back to the backside of the blue lane. No one's getting a sky wheelie off of that, as Wayne Garrett and Texas Ace gets a 20 from the judges as well. As now we move on to the debut, the competition freestyle debut of Howler. Of course, this is the third time we're seeing this truck. First one at KORR Monsters Finals 3. Did an encore freestyle. This gets a great slap wheelie there. And then we saw them earlier this season in Salinas, California, had a massive crash in racing. Similar to the one we saw Ash Fire Extinguishers have earlier tonight. So far, this is a great run from Kinsley Parks in Howler. Going into some donuts here. Not a lot in those donuts, just kind of hit it and quit it. Let's get some good air off the backside of the white lane. Coming down to the final 30 seconds of the run. Looks like she's going to try and air it out here. Get some good air off that ramp. I was expecting a little more from that, but first truck to hit it, you can understand them being a little timid about it. As now she walks it over the bus. That was a great hit right there. 10 seconds left in the run. I have to imagine this is taking the lead. Airs it out off the blue lane. As time comes to an end here, and it looks like she's going to keep going. She's upset she didn't get to freestyle at Salinas. So she's going to give these fans here in New Orleans a show. Lines up for that single car again. Going for another slap wheelie. And gets another good one. Walking it across the floor. As she just keeps on going. Get some good air off the back of the blue lane. Going into some more donuts here. And she's going to end it there with a 25 from the judges. Blows into the lead. As next up we have Lonnie Hall and Cottonmouth. Starting us off with a backside hit on the blue lane. Not really the event Lonnie was looking for with a round 2 loss to the King Karnage. So we might see a pretty aggressive freestyle run from him here. Huge sky wheelie off the car. Landed it on the back of the chassis. Those hits hurt. Looks like Lonnie's going to keep going. Going over the whoops on the far side of the track. Now it looks like Lonnie's going to go after the bus stack. Gets tripped up a little bit, but gets a great slap wheelie, dragging the bumper. As we come down to the final 30 seconds here. Tried for a sky wheelie off the white lane, did not get it. I don't think the backside of those lanes are cut well enough to get a good sky wheelie off of them. Going for another slap wheelie here. Gets it, walks it across the floor. 10 seconds left. Going into some cyclones. Will he keep it on all fours? No, he will not. Gets up on two. Pretty far over. Brings it back down. Busts the right rear wheel off. And gets a 25 from the judges. As now we have our racing winner, DJ Payne and King Karnage coming out. And there is a camper on the track now. So first time winner for King Karnage in racing. Always been kind of hit or miss in freestyle. Never been one to really compete much in racing. At least not since 2000. So it's good to see him pick up that racing win. As he gets to work here in freestyle, going after that bus that gets tripped up. Up and over he goes. Only 35 seconds into the run, gets a 16 from the judges. Not how he wanted to end his night. So now we have Todd, Yates, and Doggone Crazy. Looks like he's going to start with that camper. Going to take his time to line up for it. Pretty smart. Clock's not go until he hits it. And now he goes for it right through it. Todd, Yates, Doggone Crazy getting a slap wheelie out of that camper hit. What a start to the run. Airs it out over the racing lane. Oh, clips that camper again. Todd, of course, swept here last year, winning racing and freestyle. Actually tied for the freestyle win with his teammate, Jack Schroeder, and Try Me. As he hits that blue lane crooked, lands it almost on the downside of the big ramp over there. Oh, it looks like he's going to go up the backside of that green lane. Walks it down it. That is a very unique hit. Have to imagine that's going to score well with the judges. And looks like he's going to go back to the camper now. Oh, he's going to back up. Doesn't like how he approached it. Goes through the camper once again. Gets another little bit of a slap wheelie out of it. After the bus stack. Great hit. I have to imagine this is going to take the lead. Only 5 seconds left in the run. For Todd, Yates, and Doggone Crazy. Airs it out huge over the racing lane. Going into some donuts. These will not count. They're coming after the time expired. Waiting on the score to pop up, and it is a 22 from the judges. That is severely underscored, in my opinion. As next up, we have Phil Butler and Tonka. Coming out, going to try to do something that the judges like, because apparently it was not what Doggone Crazy did. Airs it out over that single car. Again, going for a sky wheelie off the back of the racing lane, and again, another truck not getting it. Tonka, another one of those trucks that has a new chassis this year. So been getting some kinks worked out with it, but has had pretty good results so far. Airs it out over the bus there. Now it looks like he's going after that big green ramp. A good hit on it. About the same as Howler's. Oh, he clips that camper. Get some good air off that single car. About 15 seconds left in the run here. Going back to the bus stack, going the other way this time. Huge air off of it. Comes down hard on the front end. Keeps it going. He's going to set up for a slap wheelie here to end the run. Gets a good little one. Keeps it going here for the fans. After that last score, I don't know what to expect out of this. Looks like he's going to park it on the bus, and he also gets a 22. So I'm not sure what the judges are looking for here. As now we have our 2000 racing champion, Tripp Cassidy and Rat Trap coming out. This is that other truck with a brand new, well, not even a brand new setup. This is a whole brand new truck, an expanded fourth truck for Team Rat Trap. As they picked up Tripp Cassidy from Outlaw Thunder. As Outlaw Thunder has been retired. Good air off the bus stack, hard landing, walks it into a wheelie. As there's another camper out there now. Looks like he's going to avoid it for now. Getting some good air throughout this run so far is Tripp Cassidy. And now he's going after that green ramp. Gets some good air off of it. Again, no one's really airing it out off of that. It looks like he's going to go after that camper now with 30 seconds left in the run. Oh, just kind of falls on it. Doesn't really go through it. As now he goes through it. Kind of an awkward hit on that camper. That was a strong camper. Only a few seconds left here. Looks like he's going to go into some donuts. This truck has proven to be more stable in donuts than the other Rat Trap trucks. As he ends it here with a hit on the bus that gets really crossed up on it. Clips that camper again. Another hit on the bus stack. And he's going to call it there. It's a 26 from the judges. So that will take the lead. As now we have Ash Fire Extinguishers, Mike Maxwell. They got that truck put back together after that big crash in racing. Oh, he does get a sky wheelie off the blue lane. First one of the night, I am pretty sure. Airs it out off the white lane. This truck looking worse for wear, but as long as it can put a freestyle run together, that's all that Mike is going to really care about. Airs it out off the backside of that blue lane. And now he's going after that car. Good air off of it. And it looks like he's going to take a turn with the camper here. Lands on it. Gets into trouble. Keeps it on all four wheels though. Now he goes after the bus stack. Kind of just rolls over it. And now he's going to go after that green ramp. Biggest air of the night off of it. It's only a few seconds left here in the run. Back to the blue lane. Again, not a lot of air off of it. As time expires here. Crosses up the white lane. Gets into trouble a little bit there, but keeps it on all four. And Mike Maxwell's going to keep on going here. Backside of the white lane. Going into some donuts really close to the edge of the track. And it looks like he's going to get shut off here. Also gets a 26 from the judges. So tie for the lead. So now we have Damon Newton and Cometic Gaskets coming out next. Starting off with a hit on the bus stack. This brand new Ford F-150 body here. Going for a slap wheelie. Puts it down almost immediately. Huge air off that car. Over the camper. Combos it up to the backside of the blue lane. Huge air off the white lane. Goes through the camper. Gets some pieces of it stuck in the truck. Hopefully that doesn't cause a problem. Sometimes they do, and oh, it gets caught up in the front wheel. Front wheel comes off. And officials are going to shut him down. Looks like it did a lot of damage to the front suspension. It's going to be an 18 for Cometic Gaskets. Damon Newton not going to be happy about that. So now we have our 2001 Freestyle champion, Reckless Red, driven by Opal Baxter, up next. Started us off with a good hit on the backside of the blue lane. Going after that bus that gets some good elevation off of it. Kind of a weird way she hit it. But that obstacle is kind of collapsing in on itself. Here's it out off the backside of the white lane. And airs it out off that single car there. Going into some donuts here. Good set of donuts at the end of the track there. Back to the blue lane once again. Gets some good air off of it. Walks it down the ramp. Speaking of ramps, looks like she's going after that green one. Huge air off of it. 20 seconds left in the run. This is a good run for Opal. Tripped up on the bus. Brings it back down. And she keeps on going here. This is a good run. I'd say I have to imagine this takes the lead, but with the way the judges have been scoring, I'm not sure. Great slap wheelie after time expires. As she keeps on going. Hitting the bus crooked. Oh, she gets tripped up hard. Goes up and over. It's a 29 for Reckless Red with one truck left. That would be our reigning freestyle champion, Jack Schroeder, and Try Me. It looks like he's going to start off with that car. Same as his teammate did in Doggone Crazy. Just without the camper, but a lot more debris. Good hit. Composite up to the back of the blue lane. As Jack Schroeder gets to work here. Airs it out off that racing lane. Gets it a little crooked. Good hit off that single car. Huge air off the blue lane. As Jack looks for his next hit. Oh, tried to air it out over the backside of the green ramp, I think. Gets tripped up, goes over. Clock's still ticking. I think officials are letting him go if he can get the truck refired. And he does. So Jack Schroeder and Try Me goes up and over. Keeps on going. Gets tripped up on the bus stack. And he's still going. That body is destroyed. Windows are flopping around. Body's flopping around. And now he's going to air it out off that green ramp. Huge air off of it. His body parts go flying. And time expires. Jack Schroeder still going. Smokes the bus ramp. Up and over he goes. It's going to be a 30 for Jack Schroeder and Try Me. He's going to pick up the freestyle win here in New Orleans. As you can see the rest of the results here, Reckless Red with a 29, Rat Trap and Ash Fire Extinguishers with a 26, Howler and Cottonmouth with a 25, Doggone Crazy and Tonka with a 22, Lifeline and Texas Ace with a 20, Cometic Gaskets with an 18, and King Karnage with a 16. This has been a great season here for KORR Monsters. Our next event, KORR Monsters Finals 4, Las Vegas, Nevada. We'll see you next week for racing, and we'll see you the following week for freestyle. We'll see you then.